Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Adams, a customer success manager here at Nearmap. I'm here with my colleague, Andy Bryson, also a Nearmap customer success manager, who will navigate us through MapBrowser basics. If you are new to MapBrowser or just looking for a refresher, this is a session for you. During this session, you should be more comfortable with MapBrowser and understand how its tools and dashboard can help transform your workflows. Later today, there will be a second session, MapBrowser Masters, where you can deepen your understanding of MapBrowser advanced features and functionality and learn how to get more out of MapBrowser. Before we get started, what is MapBrowser? MapBrowser is Nearmap's flagship web-based application that has an intuitive interface that allows you to easily search for locations in North America, Australia, and New Zealand. With MapBrowser, it's easy to explore the latest in historical imagery, measure, mark up, and share projects. MapBrowser is web-based, so it can be accessed from any modern web browser. This means you can access your projects whenever and wherever you are. MapBrowser is such a powerful and versatile tool, Andy. How does MapBrowser fit into so many use cases?
Thanks, Nicole. I appreciate that. There are many use cases for Nearmap. We have found that most use cases involve three common steps. The first being Explore. The Explore step is about confirming and discovering the truth on the ground. MapBrowser provides access to up to 7 high-resolution base layers. Those base layers, along with our fast location search, rich data layer, and industry-leading AI, allow you to understand every aspect of the location virtually without ever having to step foot there. The second step is Markup. MapBrowser has a range of tools that allow you to measure objects virtually, as I'll demonstrate. You can also label and annotate features to record specific insights. These layers can all be organized and saved using MapBrowser's project feature. The third step is Share. The ability to collaborate and to share is important to MapBrowser users. Nearmap's content can also be exported from MapBrowser for use in third-party applications.
Thank you, Andy. As we move on to explore more about MapBrowser's features and functionality, I'd like to invite you, our viewers, to consider how you can explore, mark up, and share insights about your day-to-day workflows. Andy, how about we get started with how to access MapBrowser?
Yeah, when you first log into MapBrowser, you're brought into the My Account page, and along the top, you will notice there's a button that is called MapBrowser. When you click this button, it'll take a second to load, but it will load up our beautiful imagery. When you do load it up, you'll be brought back to the same place that you had been working before. So if you have an area of interest that you were looking at, it will load up in that same location. We do have a search tool as well, so you can simply click on the search bar, type in the address for your area of interest, and it'll take you straight there. It is also capable of doing latitude and longitude, so if there isn't an address and it's just a plot of land, you can do the latitude and longitude, and it'll take you to that address. And going along the top, we're going to discuss all of these tools here. First, I'd like to talk about our marker tool. Our marker tool is simply that. It is to mark a point on the map. You simply click on the marker tool, pick your point of interest, and click. You'll notice that this box has a feature layer box for the marker. This gives you basic information regarding its address. You can add it to a watch list, so you'll get an email alert when this area has been updated or when we've captured new imagery of that area, and also have the coordinates, so you can use the latitude and longitude. There's also a quick link for you to be able to send that link over to a coworker. It says when that image was taken. You can switch to Google Street View, switch to oblique, which we'll talk about in the near future, and you can also add notes as well to that marker. Also, if you click the marker itself, you notice that you have the ability to change the symbol from our vast library of symbols. You can also change its color. You can put it into a group. You can zoom to that layer. You can rename, show hide, and of course, delete. Our second tool is the snapshot button, which is simply a snapshot of what you're currently working on your map browser. This will include all of the annotations that you make with the tools above. The snapshot tool will save your image the same way that your web browser saves information. So if you're using something like Google Chrome or Edge, just look for your download files. We also have the text button, which works similar to the marker tool, but instead of putting a marker down, you're capable of putting some information. So if this is site A. You can also add notes on the top right of the screen. You can change the color, but this time you can also change the brightness and the opacity of the image. You can change its font size and whether it's bold. because you can also, again, duplicate, put into a group, zoom that layer, rename, show or hide, or delete. Now I would like to share our line tool. Our line tool is an extremely powerful and useful tool in measuring straight lines. To use the line tool, you simply click on the line tool, click and drag, double click if you're done. If you'd like to do a line with multiple line segments, you simply click, start a new one, and continue to do so until you have all the information you need. You'll also notice that a box has appeared on the right-hand side of the screen where you can adjust the certain measurement types that are available. By clicking on the little screw icon here, you can change it from meters, kilometers, feet, and so on. You can change its angle. And it will also display basic information regarding that line segment. You can also, as before, add notes. When clicking the line, you can also change, again, its color and its brightness. And you can also remove certain annotation features to that line. Whether you want to show the line, the total, and the bearing can all be removed. You will notice there is an elevation profile tool. The elevation profile tool will be covered more deeply in our Nearmap Masters. This line also has the duplicate, group, zoom to, rename, or delete. We also have the polygon tool, which is one of our most powerful and useful tools. The polygon tool is used primarily for measuring the area of an area of interest. By simply clicking and dragging this dot around the perimeter of your area of interest, you can get the measurements that you need, including the outside perimeter edges and the total area in the inside of that area of interest. Like the line tool, you can also change the metric by which you measure over here on the right by clicking on this bolt icon and changing it to whatever feature or measurement style that you would like. Like all other features, you can change its color, brightness, and opacity. You can display the area or the line or remove those, and all of these features are here as well. Our rectangle tool is simply that. It's a rectangle tool where you click and drag the rectangle, giving you the area and the radius. You can also, like all the other features, change the metrics by which you want to measure. You can also change its color, brightness, opacity, the area or line, and all these features are available as well. The radius tool functions exactly like the rectangle tool. You click and drag the radius that you need, and all these features are still available to you as well. You will notice that we have a height and width tool. The height and width tool is only usable in our oblique imagery, which we will discuss in a minute. And now I'd like to switch over to our navigation tools, which are pretty simple yet powerful. By clicking the Your Location button, you will zoom to your current location. You do have to enable that on whatever web browser you're using. We do have the zoom in and zoom out buttons, but I would recommend that you use a mouse with a roller. We also have the ability to rotate the image by 90-degree increments, or by using the compass, you can drag it by 5 degrees in any direction you'd like. If you'd like to return it back to north, you just simply double click and you'll be brought back to north.
Andy, so far we've covered search, toolbar, and navigation tools, and all you can do with the right-click context tools. What about Nearmap content? What type of content is visible in MapBrowser, and how do I view it?
That's a great question. We actually have some really great viewing angles for you to enjoy. We've been demonstrating just the vertical imagery, which is just our standard top-down, but we also offer the following. We do have panorama imagery. Panorama imagery is a 45-degree angle captured from north, south, east, and west. This is an awesome feature that allows you to see underneath overhangs of certain objects, because before in the vertical, you couldn't tell whether there were doors on this building or not, or if there's something underneath an underhang. With the panorama imagery, it's a stitched together mosaic of all of our oblique imagery stitched together. With that imagery, there is no measurement capability, but that can be done in oblique, which we'll cover in a second. With the panorama, you do have the option of switching the orientation between north, south, east, and west over here, just simply by clicking, and it will change the orientation. And you can return yourself to vertical as needed. Now, the oblique imagery is the single tile image that was taken of that particular area of interest. With the oblique photos, you'll notice that the height and width tool have been unlocked. They will go deeper into that on the Nearmap Masters, so if you'd like to learn more about using the height and width tool, please attend the Nearmap Masters class. But what I'd like to quickly point out is that on the left bottom of your screen, you have the ability to change the orientation or switch back to vertical, and you've also been given a library of images that you can switch through. If that image isn't quite what you're looking for, you can switch the image, and it should best help you with your area of interest. But most of the time, the first image works out pretty well. We're going to switch back to vertical real quick. And now we're going to take a look at our 3D. Bear in mind that our 3D imagery is fairly data intensive and does take some time to load. Once 3D is loaded, I would recommend that you use a mouse to navigate with 3D. By double clicking on both of your mouse buttons, you're capable of panning around and exploring the area. You can measure in our 3D using our line and polygon tool. Again, that will be covered deeply in our Nearmap Masters.
Now that we've covered how to explore and mark up imagery, we have to touch on how to save and share our projects. Let's visit the sidebar.
Absolutely, Nicole. Over here on the top left of the screen, you'll notice that you do have the Projects button. By clicking the Projects button, you will access a library of projects that you've already been working on. But most primarily, it's the Layers button. When you click the Layers, you can add layers, which essentially is these annotation buttons along the top, and you can add and make groups. This will also be covered more deeply in the Nearmap Masters. We do have the Export button, which allows you to export different versions of our imagery, whether that's a high-resolution imagery or a georeferenced image. And the Downloads button that lets you look at the library of things that you have downloaded in the past.
Andy, thank you so much for this MapBrowser Basics overview. As a reminder, you can click on the question mark icon to access our Help and Support menu. You can also access our Knowledge Hub where you can browse product news, documentation, instructional videos, and access our Getting Started guides. I would highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already. This concludes MapBrowser and You. To learn more about MapBrowser, please visit our MapBrowser Master session, and you can also visit us at nearmap.com and click on Contact Us, visit the Knowledge Hub, or contact support for assistance. Thank you.